Hi everybody, Lori here. Thank you so much for joining me today. I have a couple of fun projects to share with you using some new goodies that just came out in the December release with Concord 9th, as well as a new set designed by Christina Werner for Concord 9th. But I had my eye on this Burst of Cheer die set. I love how these rays go into that hooray, and you can use it for some different occasions. So I'm going to start by creating a background panel. I wanted to do a light, this is powder cardstock. I'm going to use all Concord 9th cardstock. Recently got every color, and I have it in my little calyx shelf. It looks so pretty. And I'm just going to do, I'm going in rainbow order. I kind of sort of went off the back of the packaging, if we're being honest. But you know what? If it ain't broke, don't fix it, right? So I did the hooray out of that matte gold. And then each ray, let's see what I got. Honeysuckle, grapefruit, buttercup, parsley, something. I'll have all the colors listed in my description box because, I can't remember the name of my dog half the time. But okay, here we are. It's December. Is everybody hanging in there? I usually get a slight twitch in December. I have three of my 5 children have birthdays in December. And so it's just an overload every time. And you know what? I get cranky. I'm just going to admit it. I get cranky. Here's what I like Christmas. I do like it. I think it's pretty. Put up the garland and the trees and got some red velvet. Hey, we have a Joanne fabric here and they had the velvet ribbon 60% off. Did I go overboard? Yes, I might have. But when will you not ever maybe need some various colors of velvet? I got pinks, greens, reds, burgundies, creams. I love a good velvet ribbon wrapped craft package. I don't know. I talked myself into it, okay? But it was 60% off. Here we are. I'm getting the lay of the land with the hoorays. This is such a simple card. When I edited it, I think I got it down to less than 4 minutes. It didn't take me 4 minutes to make. But when you edit it like I do, it's about a 4-minute video. But I made a second card using Christina Werner's new Cheerful Flowers bundle. So we got our powder background gluing down. You could pop it up. I just glued it, kept it flat. And I'm just pressing that. I held it while it was all lined up with some Post-it tape. Then I'm going to make a little banner. And this is also the, Burst of Cheer stamp set and die set. And I'm stamping Let's Celebrate with black ink. This would also be cool if you stamped it on a bright red on red, something like that. I don't know. Cutting it out with the die. I love a good banner. I love how the Concord 9th always does this extra little banner tail that you can kind of offset. They just know what they're doing. You know what I mean? Okay, glue in the sun using Barely Arts glue. And you know what? What can I tell you? I've been buying stuff from Target left and right. But I'm loving the holiday decor. And I also bought a cute print that I put in my craft room. And my craft room is very slowly coming together. But every time I add a little, little decor, a little something, just makes life worth living. Okay, little foam tape on the banner. I added some stars. I stamped those with Harbor ink onto that Harbor background. Taping this down to a white card base. For the card base, I like to use a nice sturdy Hammermill, Neenah Solar White 110 pound. A nice sturdy white card base. Makes you look like you mean business. Okay, look at that. This also has a really awesome pop-up feature. You can make it pop up on the inside of the card, but I just made a flat one. You'll see why at the end. Now we're moving on to a card by the Christina Werner Cheerful Flowers Stencil and Die Set. This is also available at Concord 9th. The stencil set has 6 stencils, which are quite large. They measure 6 by 9. So you could make a slimline. I'm just going to do a standard A2 size card, so I'm going to adapt it. You could really layer up the stencils. I pulled out the new Stamp Wheel 2.0 by Altenew, and see how the 6x9 doesn't quite fit, but I love that the stamp wheel, you can remove the 2.0, you can remove the right arm, And so if you have larger stencils, kind of hang off. And yeah, I just was excited to try this out. So I have Hammermill WHITE cardstock. I've got just the outline stencil of that Cheerful Flowers. I'm just going to do a little gradient love, something simple for a background. I'm using sea glass on the top, and then on the bottom of the card, I'm going to make a little darker with Eucalyptus. So it's going to go gradient sea glass into Eucalyptus down on the bottom. I didn't use any, a lot of times when I do, very intricate stencils like this, I will pull out the pixie spray and make my stencil, really stick. This time I didn't, but I felt like that stamp wheel held it down very nicely. You do kind of have to, not be quite so aggressive when you're blending with such a little intricate stencil. But this is a great way to get a nice little, like you're creating your own pattern paper is basically what you're doing for the background of a card. Again, my panel here is just 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. So look at this. Look at that. That's the Cheerful Flowers by Christina Werner. Anybody follow Christina Werner? Like, she just got done with a cruise going through, what was it, like Prague, Germany, Vienna. She went to the Christmas markets. It was bringing me back. It was taking me back to the 2 years and the other years that we lived in Germany. I've gone to many a Christmas market, and they are a vibe. They are fun. They know how to do Christmas there over in Europe. I'll tell you what, the Christmas treats, the pretzels, the glühwein, which I never drank, but I hear it's good. Okay, so I die cut this bloom. This is the Cheerful Flower dies. And then I'm going to die cut the inner out of some honeysuckle. And then I'm going to add a little blending onto that honeysuckle, just for a little zhuzh. And okay, so I'm going to pop out these innards. I love to use my little, what's this called? Place and Pierce wand by Simon's the Stamp. I just want those innards. And then for the leaves, I believe this is juniper. This is the one thing about my Concord 9th cardstock. I got to get it labeled because there's so many colors that I can't remember. Is it juniper? Is it peacock? Maybe it's peacock. I know there's like juniper, tide pool, peacock. There's so many. Anywho, so what I'm doing here is laying the outline on top of that solid. And I'm going to glue the innards, the inner petals, the honeysuckles in there. And here I switch to the place and score wand, which is invaluable. These little wands make crafting. It's all about the tools, isn't it? You know what I mean? At the end of the day. Anywho, back to Christina Werner. I love watching her go through the Christmas markets. Here I'm blending a little poppy on the petals, the honeysuckle. So I'm adding poppy, and then later I'm going to bring in a little cranberry for a little more va-va-va-voom. And I'm using these are waffle flower little detail blender brushes, which I love for small areas. But also, I just recently followed Christina Werner's new nail account. I love watching her paint her nails. You know what? She's influenced me, her and Kathy Zilski. I bought the little trial size of the Dazzle Dry. I did. And you know what? I love it. And my daughter Bailey, she's basically used all of it. She's used all of it up. Now we need to buy, I think I'm going to buy the full size. She uses it a lot more than me, but every now and again I do get the itch to do, paint my nails. But here's the thing I love about Dazzle Dry. It doesn't stain the nails, so you don't get that yellowy. You probably heard all this. If you follow Christina Werner or Kathy Zilski, you know all about the nail stuff. Most of the time, I'm too lazy to do it. I've never had my nails professionally painted. One day I might treat myself, but it's just kind of last on my list. I'd rather buy a La Creuset big old soup pot, maybe in bright red. I don't know. I can never decide a color. Anywho, I'm blending Rainforest on these. I think this is Peacock on the leaves. A little bit of Rainforest, and then I'm going to glue on 2 of the white outlines. So it's going to look like a nice little inlay situation. Using Barely Arts glue, popping this down, kind of pops right in like a puzzle piece. And for the little dots in the center of the bloom, for that I'm going to use enamel dots. So here I'm gluing on the second outline layer. So just that extra little doubled up gives it a little more dimension and makes that inlay feature just look fantastic. So I do have to add a little dollop of glue so that, you know, because there's a bit of space there so that the enamel dots stick. And there, these are the Concord 9th Buttercup enamel dots. I love enamel dots. I have a whole drawer dedicated to embellishments and enamel dots. I do love them. And I have to keep telling myself to use them because I have a tendency to want to hoard them. But the thing is, you just need to use them. And now for the sentiment, I've got the Thinking of You with matte gold and the shadow out of the Shimmer Vellum by Simon Says Stamp. And I'm going to glue this together. I love a shimmer vellum. And then I'm not, you know, this would be a great time if you want to stack up to give that Thinking of You a little dimension. I kept it flat. Here comes Frankie right on time. This cat always hops up onto my craft desk when I'm gluing things. And it just makes me nervous with him walking around with glue. But the cat doesn't care. Frankie does not care if he is intruding at all. I usually have Hank at my feet and Frankie at my teeth. I don't know. Okay, gluing this blended background onto a white card base, gluing down the inlaid Cheerful Flowers bloom, and then I'm going to put a little bit of foam tape on the back of my Thinking of You sentiment, just a little bit over on the right side because the left is kind of resting on the leaves of the bloom. So you have that play on dimension there. You just need a little bit. I'm using that Big Mama foam tape by Simon Says Stamp because it's nice and thin. A few little clear sequins. And this card is finished. Look at this. So cute. This is called Cheerful Flowers by Christina Werner, available at Concord 9th. So I took these cards and a few others and I boxed them up for a little birthday present for a very special friend. I added a tree and some of that velvet ribbon. Hot pink velvet ribbon, pink Fresh Studio pattern paper. This card box is a tutorial by Jennifer McGuire. I'll have it linked. It's invaluable for just giving a set of cards. This is the Our House Dies by Concord 9th. This is the Alpine Village Dies. This is the card I just showed you, the Cheerful Flowers. And this one is Burst of Cheer. Also made that in this video. Here's So Delighted. I love this card. And then here's the Tree Lot Inlay die. And then several, I think there's 6 envelopes here. These are by Simon Says Stamp. They're beautiful, kind of shimmery envelopes. So 6 cards, 6 envelopes, fits perfectly in the envelope box if you don't make your cards two-dimensional, by the way. And then I made a little belly band. And then the velvet ribbon. I mean, the velvet ribbon really is what gets you out of bed in the morning. A little, what do you call this? A Cecil tree? Little bottle brush tree. And it's a cute little gift to give for any occasion. I hope you enjoyed this video. Check out the new December release by Concord 9th. Thank you so much for joining me. Have a wonderful day, and I will see you next time.